Yeah. Hi, everybody. How you doing? This is Johnston-Lynch, and here we are with a new show called Street Talker. And pretty much what we want to do is actually take a look into the community and what's going on out there. And pretty much on the streets, we notice that there is a part of our community that is out there that is homeless. And we're coming to a really harsh winter right now. And it's something that either we ignore or we pay attention to. And on this show, we like to bring people in who are actually focused and paying attention to it. It's a real rising concern. It's a population that is growing. I'm from New York, as you can hear in my voice, and I've seen plenty and a plethora of homelessness in our streets. But also there are people who want to do something about it. And such people are the LHT, Liverpool Housing Trust, and they're having a conference and speak on February 22nd. And they're actually involved with a project, a really interesting project, involving physical theater. And they brought in Caporeira for All, as well as a Royal Court Trust is also part of the funding for this. And it's best to let them tell you what's happening and what's going on. So here in the studio, we have Laura Lynch.
Hiya.
How you doing, Laura? And you are the Community Development Officer?
Yeah, I work for Liverpool Housing Trust as a Regeneration Officer.
Right, nice one. And then we also have this young man, Michael Horsley. Can you tell us who you are, Michael?
Yes, I'm one of the directors of a community interest company called Caporeira for All.
All right, and so pretty much the Liverpool Housing Trust is having a conference, like I said, on the 22nd of February. And can you tell us a little bit more about that, Laura?
Yeah, the conference was kind of put together through the Homes for Cathy campaign. So Cathy Come Home, over 50 years ago, kind of brought to the attention around homelessness. And it was the first kinds of stages for social housing to really look and focus around how homelessness can be supported. So when it got brought to Liverpool Housing Trust, what it was there was an educational pack that can go into the schools, and that is about informing young people around what is homelessness and how it can happen to you. And what we wanted to do was, we know that the education pack was there for schools, but we wanted to try and approach young people who were more in the youth centres, and more of the young people who could potentially become homeless or might just be going through struggled times, and mightn't even be attending the education system. So we went and spoke with Caporeira because we're not the specialists really with engaging with young people. We knew what our idea was, which was to bring to the attention to young people homelessness and what did they think about it. But we went to the experts to help us shape that conference.
Well, so Michael, this is interesting because I know your company has been growing from strength to strength, and it's not just about Caporeira; it's also about the eternal workers with young people and stuff like that. So, can you tell us your involvement and maybe the process of what leads up to this event?
Yeah, Chase. So our organisation, like you said, Caporeira for All, was set up to explore and develop how capoeira can enrich people's lives. Laura got in contact with us and told us about the project, and it was something that was really important to us, being from the area. And to give us an opportunity to be involved, we partnered up with the Royal Court Trust, and we wanted to really be able to tell a story about homelessness or the kind of the risks around, especially for young people. Because we feel like the face of homelessness has really changed. And we, as I said, we had partnered up with the Royal Court Trust, and we wanted to tell the story in a bit of a different way. We do it through physical theatre. So Miriam Musa, who's the creative director of the piece, myself, who's one of the movement coaches, and also Zain Salim, who's another one of the movement coaches from the Royal Court Trust. And we wanted to be able to give the young people an opportunity to tell it from their side. So how they see homelessness now, what it means to them within their own community. We work with 8 young people that have got involved, and they've been with the youth theatre for a little while now. And as I said, it's an opportunity for them to really lead the process and give them their own voice around homelessness, and that kind of led how we were going to get it out there.
What's really interesting about this is choosing the avenue of physical theater, because it's not like, like a musical performance or, song or anything like that. But I think what's also really good about this is the perspective. And I was talking to you, Laura, about that because, the face of homelessness, we usually see, like older white men on the streets of Liverpool, like if you're going through the city center and everything. But you also pointed out, which is true, is that young people could easily be homeless. And, and also your partner Gil said that, most people are only a paycheck away from homelessness. So can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because you seem really passionate about this with the young people.
Yeah, it's definitely, when we got given this project originally, and it was about kind of looking at homelessness, I just automatically kind of noticed that gap. And that when people were talking about homelessness, they were talking about organisations that, support homeless people. You can kind of go out on the street, and a lot of stories around, I found a lot of males that, maybe had lost their job and, told you the history on them. And I was just looking for this, well, what about the young people? Because the more I spoke to different organisations, the more the stories were coming out about, young carers, young people who are caring and that family member die and then they become homeless, or, just a young person who is couch surfing for that long, that, use up the kinds of friendships and then do become on the streets. And those stories they weren't to me in the media or on social, on the social media. So I wanted to try and focus on that. And I spoke to a brilliant woman called Lynny Hinnigan, who is the mayoral lead for young people in homelessness. And she really opened my eyes to the young people who she works with, who are constantly, kind of coming up against these challenges in life and become homeless. And I just didn't think that there was enough services out there to support them, or the services that were out there probably wasn't getting the recognition that they deserve in the work that they do, and just trying to bring it to the forefront that when we are speaking about homelessness, we make sure that we do talk about young people and the homelessness that they have to deal with.
Yeah. So, Michael, the project is called Home Truths, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And the young people get together and they kind of come up with their perspectives. Can you give us maybe one or two ideas of a home truths that came up in this project that you learned from their perspective?
Definitely, yeah. There was many different kind of subjects that come up around the homelessness. They were talking about different family situations, obviously about not being able to pay for their own homes, and we kind of done a little exercise where we got the young people to kind of put out how much they think they'd spend over the month in being able to live, and it was really eye-opening because they were actually really switched on. They really were, but at the same time it did make them realise that it's not too far off for some people. With not being able to get into full-time work for some of them that are still studying. Like I said before, different family situations, things happen in life sometimes.
What's interesting about that, because I'm also a teacher, I do various cover supervision work, and a lot of times when you're asking young people, what do you want to do? They go, oh, I don't know, and now that you bring this new perspective into it, it's like, well, I think you need to figure that out while you can, because what if that opportunity is taken from you? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like putting a plan into action, because like you just said, even just making a budget, how many times do we actually think about that? So it sounds really powerful. Laura, can I ask you, we talked also about, you said about different agencies, and I rarely don't like pronouns. What are some of the good agencies that are out there, or that's something that people, maybe if they were having a situation or a potential situation coming up, any recommendations that you have?
There's Merseyside Accommodation Centre for young people, and there's the YPAS, the Young Persons Advisory Service. I think what YPAS specialise in is the fact that they've got pretty much an open door policy, and they are linked to a lot of information about all the additional services that you can approach. So if you as a young person would be able to present yourself at White Pass and probably get a handful of support services just from that one service. So the Young Person Advisory Service, they're invited to our day, and what we've also asked is for any additional kinds of like guest speakers to come along, just so that young people who attend the conference, who are coming to see the performance, can also find out a lot of information just in case anything does happen to them in the future.
So the event itself, I mean, this is not an open event, it's a conference, but is there a way for people to see maybe the show or to get more information?
Yeah, definitely. We've got the conference it's for 50 young people, and we've had to kind of open it out, and we opened it out to youth centres across Liverpool.
Nice.
And because of the numbers, we did have to keep it kind of quite small. But one of the things that we have got is we have got an auditorium which can sit 150 guests. So what we've said is that if anybody is interested in coming along and seeing the performance, then we've fitted it all into the morning session. So you could come at 9:30, watch the morning session, and of course we will feedback anything from the workshops on that day. But if you want to get in contact with myself, then I can get people booked on.
So I mean, like, we usually will put a scroll at the bottom. So is there like contact details? So like, where could people go to, like a www or?
They can just email me direct.
Oh, now don't put your email out there. I'll be like, yeah, that's Laura, Laura Lynch, yeah.
We can get the general email from, and we can get that sent up, because we booked it all through Eventbrite.
Yeah.
But that will close.
Yeah.
So what I can do is I can get you the best contact for people to contact us through.
Yeah, and we'll have it on a scroll on the edited version of this project, and just letting people know. I mean, this has been really interesting, especially when we talk about homelessness. I've seen that usually dealing with it from an adult perspective, but being able to talk about it from a youth perspective is fantastic, and it's great that you guys are actually able to put this project together. Miriam Musa is fantastic, and I look forward to seeing it. What will happen here is that even though this is live streamed, is that we will also, when Colors actually launches, we will have a longer version of this. We'll have some clips, some pictures, and hopefully we be able to show parts of the show that you guys are putting together and everything. But I would like to just thank you guys for coming in, giving them your time here to be, I don't want to say it, but the first ones to come into our studio. But what about you, Michael? I mean, like, as Caporeira for All, where can people find you?
www.capoeiraforall.org. Yeah, come along, check us out. I mean, like what you were saying before, our organisation, is all about movement, and that could be movement within the body, it could be movement from one place to another within your life, and we really like to put, especially within this project, the young people as the main focus, and it's all about getting information out there that can really help people. I think when I was younger, I was in the powerhouse from when I was 16 until I was about 17, and that was a service that was available to me then. I just wanted to kind of get out on my own 2 feet and find out how living on my own was for myself, and yeah, it was different, really different. But that's why I think what I'm trying to say is that's why this project is so important to our organisation as well.
Well, don't forget movement of the mind.
Movement of the mind.
Yeah,
Look at that. Yeah, definitely.
You can have that for free. Well, once again, I mean, I'd like to thank you guys for coming in, and good luck on February 22nd at the, where is that at? You said it's in Speak, but...
it's the Partnership for Learning Centre.
That's what I thought. I knew I'd written that down. In the Partnership for Learning Centre out in Speak, February 22nd. I think it sounds like a fantastic project, and at least the young people themselves who need to hear about it will be there. So thank you guys for watching. This is Chase Johnston-Lynch here for Street Talker here on Colors, City of Liverpool online radio station. Do you like that? Do you like it?
Color.